Alrighty, welcome. We've got Vici Gaming taking on IG. I'm GoDz, and we're going to be covering some H Cup. It's going to be pretty chill here this evening. Just woke up like half an hour ago and fried up the stream, found some overlays, and for me, ready to learn and find out just how good some of these new rosters are. There's been a lot of reshuffles lately. We've got, I believe, all of the teams you'd expect, all the basically Tier 1 Chinese teams, or at least on paper Tier 1 Chinese teams, competing in H Cup now. This is basically, it's confusing. So this is technically Season 4. There were 3 seasons already, but that was to decide who went to Kiev for Star Ladder Invitational. And basically this is an entirely new season. These qualifiers will apply for the next Star Ladder, which is going to be coming later this year. So the Star Ladder Kiev team out of China has already been decided. Vici Gaming Reborn won that, and that was before kind of all the reshuffle had been done and all the teams were actually playing. So teams like LGD, Vici, LGD and as well as Vici were direct invited to the LAN, but even teams like eHome, CDC weren't actually playing in those qualifiers. So Vici Gaming Reborn were like the strongest team in that qualifier. This time around, you've got pretty much every top tier Chinese team playing in the qualifiers. You've got Vici Gaming, IG, eHome, LGD. List goes on. Teams like Wings, who've been doing really well lately. Vici Gaming Reborn. I believe Vici Gaming... Vici Gaming Reborn, of course. Tongfu, CDC, and some of the other kind of upcoming teams out of China. So we've got... a lot of kind of fresh faces coming out with the roster reshuffles. And some of these Tier 1 teams now. You've got players like JDH and HYM joining up with long-term veterans, and ROTK burning, and then CTY is not really a veteran, but who's kind of been an established Tier 1 player for some time now with his stint on eHome and eHome's success and eventual downfall, I guess you could say. For IG, Ferrari 430, everyone probably knows who he is if you've been following Dota at all over the past year or two. You may recognize him as your TI2 champion. Playing for this very team, has got 4 kind of lesser familiar faces joining him. He's basically found himself on a team with what was previously the IG Vitality roster. IG Vitality has a new roster now, but the B team for IG Vitality was essentially upgraded to the main team and had Ferrari 430 thrown in as the mid lane. I can only assume the mid lane. I haven't seen them play. I'd be surprised if he's not playing mid, just because that's been his kind of known and quintessential role for some time. And we'll see what he's going to be on. What's up, Aaron? Welcome to the chat. We're going to be hopefully watching some good old Chinese Dota here. So let me take a look. What are we actually covering today? So there's 2 streams going on, guys. You guys can check out BTS2. Lyrical is going to be covering LGD versus eHome King. On this stream, we've got Vici Gaming versus IG. We're going to be checking out eHome versus Wings, eHome versus IG Vitality, Wings versus CDC. I'm really excited for the new CDC roster. It looks like it's hard to obviously old CDC roster got second at TI, and to say this roster looks stronger implies that they're going to be like one of the best teams in the world. But on paper, like some of the individual players they brought in could be considered potential upgrades for their previous players in those roles. Like bringing in Yao over XZ. I mean, they're very different players. XZ really just has been playing amazing Dota, so I don't want to say Yao's just a better player, but he's had his moments where he's been that clutch player. He's really stable. He's got his heroes that he's just incredibly comfortable and strong on. In the mid lane, Super, your former Vici Gaming mid, is another just really underrated mid player. And I think Shiki was pointed at quite often as being kind of one of the weak links in CDC as far as his hero pool goes especially, and even sometimes his early game laning. So to me, that's like a clear upgrade. Yes, it's a very similar playstyle where Super, another player who's not really known for his lane dominance, but I think this new CDC roster, outside of maybe the carry replacement in Rabbit, is kind of on paper going to be just as good / better. But again, it all comes down to how they mesh, how things actually work. Garda and Q as a support duo / just as a captain in Q is just phenomenal. So I have full faith in this team. And Rabbit, yes, he hasn't been in top form the past year, but to me, TI4 Rabbit is what TI5 Aggressive was. Like, TI5 Aggressive was like the one player everyone's talking about, but to me, at Rabbit, what he did at TI4, that was like almost on the same level. Yeah, he didn't get into the grand finals, but he was like single-handedly carrying LGD back then. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how these kind of new rosters shake up and just what happens to Chinese Dota. Whether this spring shuffle will make Chinese Dota great again, or whether we're looking at for them to bomb out at the Manila Major. The real tough thing is how many Chinese teams are going to be there, because right now it's like there's no Chinese team deserving of a direct invite. That just goes without saying. None of them have really any proven results. They're all completely new rosters. Then of course you've got LGD with Zhao Wei, who's a past TI champion and the most accomplished captain coming out of the East in terms of Dota 2 results, and up there in the top 3 with Puppy and PPD. Like, there's like the 3 big captains in Dota. There's Puppy, there's PPD, and there's Zhao Wei. That's like goes without saying. I don't think there's any other captain you can put on the level of these guys as far as results go. There's definitely people you can kind of maybe talk about who could be as good as them, or maybe are as good as them, but just haven't had the results, haven't had the team built around them. But these are your guys who've won TIs. I mean, S4 perhaps maybe in the slight discussion with that with what Alliance did, but I don't think he's had quite the same track record as those 3 guys. So right now, I'm talking less about draft and more about what's happening, just because to me that's kind of what's going to be more interesting moving forward. Particularly, like I said, who's going to be representing China moving forward. There's like 5 teams which I could see all being tier 1 teams. Like, there's probably 4 of these teams I could say, oh yeah, they could finish top 8 at the major, and maybe in theory there's 4. Like, if there were 4 Chinese teams in the next major, maybe all 4 of them could finish top 8. But I don't think there will be 4 teams, because unless like LGD and Vici Gaming dominated Starlighter Invitational, Vici Gaming Reborn, another team who looks really good right now. Who's actually getting to that Manila Major? How many Chinese qualifier spots will there be? If there's only 2, China's pretty fucked. Like, it's like you've got 5 teams who could finish potentially top 8. Like, let's see, like CDC to me, CDC, eHome, Vici Reborn, Vici Gaming I'm like not so confident in, but I mean, you've got Burning, you've got CTY, and then you've got LGD with Zhao Wei. Like, there's 5 teams right there who are all potential tier 1 candidates, but I mean, like, let's be real here. You're not going to get all 5 of those teams at the major, so yeah, we'll see. We'll really see. And this is where these tournaments over the next month or so are likely going to determine what could be like one direct invite to the next major for a Chinese team. Like, I feel like Valve may just be like, okay, let's give them like a month to play tournaments and see which is the best performing Chinese team, and just invite that one Chinese team. And we'll go from having like, what was it, 5 Chinese teams at the Shanghai Major, 4 Chinese teams, to having 1 direct invite. And then obviously the qualifier spots, unless they change the qualifier system, but I don't see that happening. That just sets a bad precedent. I think regions like SEA and NA have proven deserving of the invite spots, and that means as a result the qualifier spots. So even if you have to invite MVP as well as Fnatic, well then they get 2 qualifier spots. You have 4 SEA teams at the major, maybe. They deserve it. They've proven they deserve it based on their results. Same for NA with Complexity, EG. If both those teams get invited and then there's 2 NA spots, well, again, it's probably because they deserve it. So we'll see. This draft, what are we looking at here? PL being picked up as a carry. I've seen a lot of PL as of late, and it's kind of been very mixed. And some of them, well, it's kind of been different styles. We've had the mid PL used to kind of counterplay the Invoker, then we've had just some classic safe lane carry PL games. It looks like we're more in for that latter. Burning PL coming out. Not bad against these heroes. You can always I've always liked playing PL against Earth Spirit, just because you're never scared of the Magnetize. You've got Doppelganger and you can just instantly dispel it using Doppelganger. I mean, this spell is probably one of the most absurd. This is going to be in like the top 3 of bullshit non-ultimate spells. 10-second cooldown, escape spell, purges off like everything, and that obviously includes Magnetize. Does not, but with that said, if you're silenced, you can't use it. You're stunned, you can't use it. So there's some limitations. It purges off things within reason. Obviously, you have to be able to cast spells to actually purge them off, and so you can only purge off negative debuffs that don't prevent you from casting spells. So, on the side of IG, I mean, Earth Spirit first pick, no brainer really. Nowadays, Beastmaster's been around for a while as one of those heroes that's so good at kind of just controlling the game with the vision he provides, and he's your Iron Talon meme for the offlane. Pick up your Iron Talon and you're good to go. So Lone Druid likely to be either mid or safe lane as a result. And see where exactly that's going to be going. It doesn't strike me as a Ferrari 430 hero, but well, Beastmaster I guess could easily be mid. But okay, so 430 picks up the Lone Druid. That's going to be your matchup versus OD mid. About to say it's a hero that can at least match up better than some others against the OD. But again, it doesn't strike me as a 430 hero. Not to say he can't play it by any means, but. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Phoenix last pick, so Vici Gaming opting for some team fight. This is the old school E-home strat. You get Phoenix, you get Winter Wyvern, the Supernova with the Winter's Curse. Winter Wyvern, pretty good pseudo counter pick to the Lone Druid. You're very likely to get. I mean, you look at all the the high damage summons coming out. You have Beastmaster with Necrobooks, Lone Druid with his Spirit Bear. This is a really good game for Winter's Curse in the sense that there's likely to be lots of summons to wail away on whoever gets Winter's Curse. You've got the melee hero Juggernaut, who's often likely going to be standing next to a Lone Druid. You've got the Beastmaster aura as well kicking in. So as far as games to actually utilize Winter's Curse go, this is one of the better ones. Normally I look at it, like so many games, it's like 90% of games I feel Winter's Curse is just such a useless spell. So we'll see. Spirit roll in. Let's see if he knows what he's doing. Don't get too close. If this is like my pub games, like this guy just like walks in. My favorite is when like someone just like walks down mid lane, walks like here, drops the ward, and like he's like, oh, this is a good ward spot. I've seen pros put this ward spot. Let's just go do this at minute 0. And it's like, you know, this tower, it kind of sees you plant that ward. But obviously that's like my 3K pub games because I don't play with anyone decent. But he's gonna get a ward up onto the high ground of all places up here. So a bit of a different spot. This will actually get at the bounty fairly early on. And we'll see what's going to be coming out here. So, I mean, I see Juggalo and Druid, I think kind of back to what Alliance was doing during like the previous Starlighter and Mints, where you have this this timing push around the Radiant, where you've got the healing ward to back it up, you've got a Venge Aura, you've got a Beastmaster Aura. It's all going to be a lot about buffing up that bear. If you're playing that more in that Alliance style, of course, Juggernaut by himself can be played more as that true hard carry for the team. Or at least a side-by-side carry with the Lone Druid. Not sure if that's going to be the plan, but right now, bottom lane, Phoenix, is he going to go for the rune snipe? I could imagine you probably give it a shot. The top rune will be claimed by CTY, no problems, and Bounty Hunter getting scouted out. Doesn't actually... Okay, yeah, Bounty Hunter will get the bounty rune, goes down, gives the first blood, but I want to say it's like a... I don't know the math now. I'm curious to hear what actually players think about that, but... Oh, overlay. My bad, guys. Let me fix that. There we go. I've got a draft one and an in-game one, but yeah, 2 bounty runes for a first blood. I guess the bounty rune for a bounty hunter, it probably depends somewhat on the heroes, but a bounty for the fast level 2 gets a lot stronger as far as his ability to harass other lanes. But Jug getting a first blood means he's already got his Basset ring. He's going to have very fast boots. He's off to a good start. And 430 getting harassed down early in this mid lane. So Vici Gaming. They get hit first, and it looks like PL's going to be moving towards top. I like this move. You notice the sentry in mid lane. You also missed your sentry to de-ward. Well, actually, it looks like this sentry was preemptively placed. Expecting to try and find this Radiant ward. He was thinking... Well, I guess it was... I don't know where he was expecting to be. Maybe on this side of the cliff, but... There we go. JDH comes top. Finds a sentry. Oh, okay. That's a big misplay. Should have used that Tengo. XXS on the Beastmaster comes in. Tengo's the counter sentry. You can't even then say, oh, he's come up, let's bully him. He gets this huge Tengo regen. So this guy's just like 4 armor, massive HP regen. Yeah, he's just like, I'll trade hits with you guys all day long. I mean, this harass here is largely going to be negated because of that bonus Tengo regen, but now it's about to, as I say that, it's like he keeps getting right-clicked, he keeps getting right-clicked some more. 430 out of mana. Double Null Talisman. This is some CTY shit if I've ever seen it, man. This guy is just like, I'm the 6-minute god. I'm going to make sure I win the first 6 minutes by going double Null Talisman. Like, why not? 2 points in Arcane Orb already. He actually didn't go for the Astral Imprisonment. There wasn't a level 1 fight. That's only a spell you need to secure that level 1 bounty rune. So you're like, okay, this is level 1 rune fight. Let's get Astral just to make sure we grab that rune. And if you don't need it, and in a matchup against Lone Druid, it's a spell that's not going to do as much. You're much better off having 202 at level 4. And then level 5, I'm not sure if you go for the Arcane Orb or the Essence War at level 5. Not an OD player. I'm not dirty like that, guys. So Bounty coming back in, immediately kind of getting scouted out, poked and prodded. And there we go, yeah, double Null Talisman. And just something, you're against a lone druid. You're going to have a tougher time last hitting in this matchup than almost any other as an OD. You're also worried about a roaming Earth Spirit. I mean, talk about the Bounty staying in the safe lane. It looks like Earth Spirit did the same around the bottom lane. Already has a fast level 2, but now swinging towards this mid lane, looking to apply some pressure. And if he could find a roll, typically you're looking at a kill, but already OD, you're looking at 800 plus HP. Huge damage output with this double Null Talisman Arcane Orb. I don't think you want to go rolling onto this guy too easily. You'd be worried about that. Actually, Lone Druid, no points in Savage Roar yet. I think if this was an offlane Lone Druid, I mean, you're getting that level 2 every single time. Well, this is classic RTK. He's got an Iron Talon. He's in the jungle. And if it was classic RTK, he would have died to neutrals there. So very, very close to the classic RTK. But jungling it up, ditching the offlane. He's already level 3 though, so definitely the results are there. Just using that Sunray to farm some jungle camp with the Iron Talon, but all that's missing was a classic RTK death. But yeah, we're looking at OD 15 denies, 12 last hits. This is the double Null Talisman effect. 430 is probably just like, man, 3 years ago I was the mid god. Who is this young kid? Who's taken over my title? Oh, Dodo's definitely become much more complex than that to win it. It's no longer about winning mid lane. I don't think you ever really even hear casters talk about like mid lane matchups like being won as much or even mattering as much. Like it's not even so much a thing. Okay, both lose their sentry. Ultimately, the result Vici Gaming want. They want to make sure there's no sentry to deal with the bounty there. So they don't care that they lose their sentry. They just care that the enemy sentry gets taken out. RTK just going to continue to Sunray. He's got this big stack going, and he's got his Iron Talon up. He's happy. Happy as a clam. Beastmaster, similarly, yep, Iron Talon. It's the thing. It's the way to play off lane. What a patch OS Frog. And this is a good response. Like, your opponent stitch your off lane. You want to take that T1 tower early and just start applying pressure. But Bounty's already there. Let's partially, obviously, defend this one, but also with the idea in mind that he can get some much needed levels. He's just level 2 right now and won't be able to do too much. Is there detection? No detection. If you had dust there, you're looking at a kill. That's something they maybe had to preemptively do. Expect the bounty to come bottom and have dust or sentry ready for that rotation. But they'll get the tower regardless, it seems, unless Phoenix TP in. Okay, they're actually going to look to mount a defense here. Can anyone else TP? Winter Wyvern has a TP as well, but that's a level 2 Winter Wyvern. I'm not really convinced this is the best 3-hero duo to defend this tower. Juggernaut can just Blade Fury and right-click it. Doesn't worry about the Fire Spirits then as a result, but they're keeping creeps at bay for now, using those Fire Spirits. Roll in. They're just trying to secure the tower more than anything. I don't think RTK is really a viable kill because of that dive in. Maybe just a tower deny going to be what they want. And nicely played. Juggernaut didn't give them the opportunity for a die. Now they see JDH. The sentry there as well. Blade Fury on through. JDH, he's going to try run. Can they get him? Doesn't look like they will. There's a Boulder Smash. Gets him even lower, down to 30 HP. The roll, it misses! Oh, JDH, he ran south. Ooh, nicely played, nicely played. And same thing happening top lane. Vici Gaming recognizing that IG focusing all their efforts at the bottom side on the tier 1 tower and also towards mid, keeping 430 alive and going to take a tier 1 tower of their own. So both teams taking a tier 1 tower in their safe lane, as you kind of naturally expect at this stage of the game. This is like the not so much the Iron Talon counter, but this is what you need to do. Speaking of Iron Talon counters, only one of them is actually getting full value out of it. Phoenix level 5, Beastmaster not even level 3 yet. He didn't initially go for that level 1 Iron Talon, and he tried to get something out of the lane, but kept getting zoned. Winter Wyvern and Bounty Hunter making sure they applied some pressure up there. So we'll see what next move's going to be. Neither team looking to scrap just yet, and I mean, I think with good reason. In the side of IG, your Lone Druid obviously not a hero that necessarily wants to team fight or even go for any kind of skirmishes. Juggernaut is waiting his level 6. He will have Omni Slash coming into play with a TP Scroll Mango. And it's always, I always find it really important, like when you hit this stage, that you still have that Mango, because it means if you TP in your lane, that's already 75 mana gone, and he has mana problems. So unless you have a magic stick / magic wand and a lot of charges racked up, you often don't have the mana pool to use Omni Slash plus spin after you TP in. He's like 10 mana short right now, 11 mana short, but it's even the case where, like, what happens if you need a second Blade Fury because the fight gets drawn out and, hey, 18 seconds later, you Blade Fury in, then you Omni Slash, and then like 10 seconds go by and the fight's still going on. Lane game coming out. Nice Boulder Smash, going to catch the backlines. Winter Wyvern as well, the Splinter Blast being used to counterplay, and there we go, there's the TP in. The Winter Wyvern keeping the OD alive for now, going to need another root it looks like, which they're not going to find. The Omni Slash will finish him off though, so Jug, his rotation successful. PL, speaking of rotations, doing the same, looking for the Vengeful Spirit, has got the Lance Mana as well, and again, talk about mangoes and how important they are when you go for those TP rotations. You see it there for both QD, who now gets off another Blade Fury as a result of his mango, and Burning. If not for his mango, he doesn't get killed. What a Boulder Smash coming in from the Earth Spirit, and that Sentry Ward will get Burning. Oh, Baboka, the fight lasted long enough. I mean, the carries had the sustain from the mangoes, but just as importantly, Baboka had the sustain from dying. He dies, he comes back, all his spells are back up, he's full HP, he's full mana, and he started off the fight, gets the helps get the initial kill on OD, and then he comes back after respawning and gets his team a couple more kills. So more than anything, the fact Earth Spirit could TP back in after respawning there, that wins IG the fight. But Mango Gaming, boys, always save your mangoes as a carry. If you want to be a team player like Burning and QD and TP to those fights, you've got to have the mana to do something, and both of them showing the importance of those mangoes. So Jug now drums up, he's going to help solve some of his mana issues just by going for this stats item, looking for that fighting style build, Max Blade Fury, and already swing towards his top lane. They want to be able to basically take control of this area on the map here in the Dire Jungle, and the first step to do so is to take out this top tier 1 tower. Bounty Hunter's looking to make his presence up in this top lane. They've got Supernova, so possibility is there to defend this one, but Jug one of the better heroes against Phoenix because you can just Blade Fury and right-click down that egg, and having a drums already means you can just pop a drum charge and you and your teammates just get that extra attack speed burst, and bringing down the egg should be pretty straightforward. So I feel like right now it's IG who can actually barrel down some towers, and they can do this without even Lone Druid having to take part. Frees up the Lone Druid to do what he wants to do, which is farm Radiant. Sentry. Scout out some of these heroes here. They can turn and fight. JDH has been spotted by the Sentry Ward, and I believe they can get this kill. RTK will get a chance to Supernova the Roar into the silence. Burst him down before he can get the egg off. They've taken out 2, and it's about to be a third. HYM. Going to delay this one. CTY is thinking about it, and realizes he doesn't have to go in. IG. They kind of get cold feet there. I don't think they quite realize where PL and OD were on the map. Speaking of those two, they're actually going mid lane. Savage Raw needs to be good. He won't get a chance to use it. Well, I say that he did, but it was too late. The OD had already come out and thrown a hammer. He didn't have mana on his hero. He needed the bear to cast it, I believe. And the bear thrown into the prison. So important kill. That's like the kind of kill you need to be getting if you're Vici game. You need to look for trades, because right now it's IG who are taking towers, taking control, shutting you down, and their line can definitely snowball a lot more. And to me, they've just got a much clearer timing to win. Like their win condition is getting the Bear Radiance, just going one by one, taking towers on the map, taking Roshan, and then pushing high ground. For the Vici side, it's a bit more just like generally like a general kind of, we've got strong team fight, we've got good late game. It's not like there's not a clear win, like a win condition for them there, but they've not got this like big timing window where they're going to suddenly be a whole lot stronger. It just comes from teamfight execution, which wasn't there just then when you look at RTK getting bursted down without getting off his Supernova. And also just generally having, I mean, they've got the scarier teamfight. They've got the Winter's Curse, they've got the Supernova, they've got the OD Sandy's Eclipse. These are ultimates which IG don't really have a clear answer to, but IG are going to be the ones who are going to be taking the early game lead, taking the early game towers, and should be able to pull ahead to some extent because of this. Curious to see what Beastmaster gets. A lot of money. Probably just a Necrobook, I want to say, is the item. Oh, nice swap into the Raw. IG synergizing their ultimates very well together. Phoenix couldn't even get off a dive there. Did not want to go for a Supernova, that's for sure. Not have standed a chance to keep that egg alive, and Other big problem for Vici is when some of those ultimates are on cooldown, any possibility for a team fight is just not there. Like, they're missing the OD ultimate, and not on cooldown, but not level 6 is HYM, so we haven't even got a Winter's Curse yet. And all 3 tier 1 towers have been lost. You see Earth Spirit, probably like a Veil with an urn here coming out. Pretty standard stuff. And, he actually, I believe, I can only say he misclicked this and did not skill ultimate at level 6. Maybe in like the heat of a fight he didn't have mana for an ultimate and he wanted to just, I mean, again, it's like, oh no, it's the same mana as a pull. So there's no real reason like he'd level up pull at level 6 and not magnetize, I feel. This can really, to me, can only be explained as a misclick. And I think, okay, so he gets level 7. I think that's why he went just top lane now to farm, because he's like, hey team, I misclicked at level 6, I didn't get my ultimate. I need to go get my level 7 now. Normally it's like, oh, you're level 6, come fight, come roam with us, let's smoke up. But not having magnetize, it's like, what's going on? So, Vici Gaming now, move into the enemy jungle. And that's the thing here, like, yes, they're a little bit, like, overall, they're getting out farmed, but the way back into this game is going to be through kills, pick-offs, so speaking of that, they're going to find in the wrong place at the wrong time. He'll be brought down, but the counterplay is possibly there. There's the big ultimate's available, though, and that's something I think Jug QD shows some respect towards, and also just running in for an Omni Slash is not really reliable when you're against the Cold Embrace. And Wyvern, not just good against the Lone Druid, as mentioned, also very good against the Juggernaut in all other ways. So what's up, Beastmaster? Yep, Necrobook picked up. And Jug about to complete a Battle Fury, in fact. So Roche, next objective for Vici. Actually, I say objective. Like this is not so much an objective, but a counterplay to what they see IG doing. It's like IG want to group up and take objectives. Like this is normally you see this, like this is such a common trade. Dire side get Roshan while the Radiant takes a top tower, but often it's done like as a the Radiant team says, oh, you're taking Roche, we can't stop you. This is more Vici Gaming saying you're pushing top, we can't stop you. What else can we do on the map? Let's take Roche. As a result, it's not just a tier 2 tower, it's even damage under the tier 3. Burning farms up some Necrobooks. That's some actually nice money for him. A couple hundred gold there from the Beastmaster. And I don't actually think IG realized Roche was happening, I want to say. Because that was a somewhat unconventional Roche, considering the heroes that were taking part in it. And that there was heroes defending top. Yes, OD's actually pretty good at taking Roche. Bounty tanks a little bit. Phoenix has some sustain coming out from the Sunray, so... Successful Roshan. I think more important than having an Aegis on CTY is denying the Aegis from IG, because IG has the ability to push high ground very soon. Where's the... How long on that Radiance? It's actually not that close, but that Radiance timing is really like go time. What is it, the Dire? Dire team see nothing up here, and here this jump is coming their way soon. Okay, so Wrong reveals himself. I mean, this Battle Fury does allow QD to kind of transition more in towards the late game, but I don't think IG are going to be like, okay, let's fall back and play this farm game now. Like, we've got Midas, we've got Battle Fury, let's just give Vici Gaming tons of space. I think they're going to recognize that their lineup can continue to take objectives, and around when they have the Radiance, at the same time, you're looking at OD's Aegis going to be expiring soon, so he's going to be down to that one life, and he's actually really, you got 600 HP on an OD with the magic wand, so a little burst heal. Not really an easy hero to kill, and seen this one before. Wrong, getting butchered in the Dire jungle. Beastmaster's going to be thinking about getting himself out of there. TP's towards the bottom lane, and for IG it's all about just, you see a pick off like that, that was a smoke gank from Vici Gaming. So when a 4-man smoke drain catches out just one support, you're not feeling too bad about yourself. You've still got just good general control over this game. You've got good vision in the enemy jungle as well, both enemy jungles, and you're maintaining your farm across the board on all your core heroes. So Beastmaster is going to have his Necro 3 soon, Bear's going to have Radiant soon, Juggernaut has his Battle Fury, so he's going to continue to farm at a very efficient pace. On the Dire side, we're looking at Drums Diffusal, so Burning, looking for that extra bit of early game presence with that Drums pickup, although it hasn't really amounted to much with Vici Gaming. Unable to find any good team fights. That's really been the big I guess Vici's biggest downfall is just not being able to use their... Like, we haven't seen a supernova yet this entire game. We haven't seen a Winter's Curse. And it's partly because there just haven't been teamfights, but if there's no teamfights, it's worth using these ultimates for a solo kill, for example. It's like everyone kind of talks a bit about with Enigma. Your first black hole or two is typically not used to get like 3-4 heroes. It's often used just to black hole one carry hero, because the first 10 minutes of the 10-15 minutes of the game, you're not looking at big group up 5v5 fights, so it's more than worth it to use that supernova for a solo kill. Same for the Winter's Curse. Obviously, Winter's Curse not so easy to do that. That's the problem with Winter's Curse in general, because it relies on the enemy grouping up. And IG, they've only grouped up when they knew they had the advantage and weren't going to find themselves in those bad fights. But Wall coming out to the south. It's going to be on RTK, and we've seen this one before. RTK getting burst down before he can even get off his ultimate. They tried to buy him some time using the Winter's Curse, and Beastmaster will just get to the high ground, TP home. Fortunately, feed away a bit more necro money, but another kill. RTK. Another day, another death. And Diffusal picked up in the meantime by Phantom Lancer. And now just a couple hundred gold away from Radiance. CCY. Curious to see what he picks up. Could see the Blink Dagger now, or may just feel like he needs to go straight into something like the BKB. There we go, he gets the Blink. Wrong's been spending a lot of time just kind of taking some solo farm. It will just be a straight Aether Lens, I imagine. Just assemble the Arcane Boots, get that bit of extra range on swap, and he's like the RTK of IG at this point. Just getting picked off by himself a few times. It is track money too, that's kind of worth noting. Typically you're like, oh, they just committed... I mean, there was only 2 heroes here, but they just went kind of... the one hero dying on this side. 4 of the 6 deaths have all been onto the Vengeful Spirit, but... when at least the recent, I think, 3 kills have all been track kills, it does mean you're getting a bit of extra money. Because you look at Venge, the lowest net worth here in the game. You know, it's not like a... You get 400 gold, so... for the bounty, and then some got obviously track money going the way of the PL, so they're very much more worth it killing those 5 position supports when you've got the bounty track money. Bounty just getting down. They've got great vision in this enemy jungle, but I don't feel like these are wards. I mean, they're fine so far. This ward definitely, like, it was at a stage of the game where IG were spending a lot of time there, but IG have hit their timing now. IG's going to be playing on Vici's side of the map. Dust thrown out, didn't quite catch on. And yeah, Aegis has just expired, so they get Radiance as Aegis expires, and now they're ready to push. This is kind of that timing I alluded to. JDH going to find himself a Hawk here as he just kind of sits back, waits for a good opportunity to make his move. Right now they're just trying to chip away at this bear, not really full commit to anything, using the Atos, the Arcane Orb burning, takes a lot of damage on the front lines, forces double going back thing. Ooh, get off the... Nice Omni Slash, it's going to bring down the PL, and I don't think this OD is going to be okay. He basically used the Cold Embrace with the Astral, so... kind of meant he was just a sitting duck as soon as he came out of that. As soon as he came out of the Astral, the Cold Embrace is already worn off. I mean, either way, like if he comes out, he gets Cold Embraced afterwards. He's still a sitting duck because Venge just waits for it to wear off. He throws a stun, Junk Blade Furies. It was always going to be a tough position to get out of it. Both carries go. Oh, sorry, one carry goes down. The OD surviving. OD, Winter Wyvern, you know, Winged Beast. They get mixed up pretty easily. These little flying fellas. And again. No supernova. This game is just going to end without a supernova being used. That's kind of what it feels like right now. RTK, 21 minutes in, still looking for that first supernova. I'm 95% sure he's not used it all game long, unless he's somehow used it like off camera at some point. But yeah, this new Vici Gaming squad, yet to kind of come into their own just yet. It was definitely something I questioned a bit because I think it's great to bring up some of this new talent, but this is one of the few teams and scenarios where you see like this new young talent being brought into like the support role. They're like 2 new pickups, HYM and JDH, were both, they're like support players, and normally you kind of what you see often is like the veterans kind of move into that support role, and then hey, this new star flashy player is going to be a core. Very rarely do you see, like, I was talking about this with Scan, and like one of the few exceptions maybe we could think of was someone like Saxka, who kind of came up as this high MMR, really strong pub player who was known for playing support, but very infrequently I like these, and it's just a lot harder because it's such like a different role in competitive Dota, and the way it's played in general is just very hard to it's hard to like mesh well with the team when you're like the newcomer, and the supports have to basically make a lot of calls, make a lot of decisions in the early game with their movements, and you're playing on a team with burning RTK. You're going to feel like, hey, what do they want me to do? They're the veterans, they're the experienced ones, they're the captains, but they're the ones on the court here. Well, easy pickoff when Wyvern goes down. Worried about this bear. 430. We'll keep it alive. And he's had a solid game on this lone druid. I feel like IG as a whole has looked very stable. Hasn't like blown me away with their execution or individual plays, but overall the drafting, the strategy, they've found their timings, they punished Vici Gaming for all their mistakes. They've done everything right this game, and they're going to continue to do so with a swap in on CTY. They'll get the stun with the Omni Slash, and QD going to find his way out of the base. ODX going to buy back, so I think it's just retreat time. And Earthspirit will even get off the Magnetize before it goes down, so it'll do some good damage here, and something Vici Gaming don't really have the best answer to hold up against. IG get out with just the one loss. That was a Phoenix buyback as well. You're looking at 23 minutes, RTK still working on his Midas. I mean, I definitely like joke a bit about RTK, but this has been a very, very lackluster performance from him. Like that kind of, I mean, it goes without saying, but still looking for that level 2 ultimate, still looking for a Midas. I mean, still looking to even, I say he's looking for the level 2 ultimate. At this point, it probably doesn't matter if he's not going to use it, so. Definitely had better performances. And we're talking about Sony got second place at TI here, so I mean, RTK, he's no scrub, guys, but definitely not the most consistent player. IG gonna look to just probably regroup, wait for some of these ultimates, Magnetize, Omni Slash coming up soonish, and I know with these buybacks, so actually Roshan, okay, so Rosh is back up, they can probably securely take this one. Vici Gaming may feel compelled to try and contest it, just because taking Roshan could just lead to the end of this game. Phoenix dives in, but again, RTK obviously not really a good opportunity to go for that Supernova, but what is going to be that opportunity? Roll forward, RTK, silence up, smash, gets banished here. Is this it? Is this the first Supernova of the game? It may just be. He gets roared, he gets pulled back, the roar on the other side, the Beastmaster one. He's focusing down just some summons here, and there we go. Supernova comes out, and it will be protected. Jug thinks about going for it for a second. RTK helps bring down the Earth Spirit, and also helps cover the retreat of Vici Gaming, but really, they're just running out of firepower here. They haven't got the farm, they haven't got the ability to take on this Jug, who's now got an Omni Slash. Blink Dagger at the ready. Burning still on the front lines. What's he going to do here? Goes in pseudo-aggressively. Has burned away at all the Spirit Bear mana. Alright, first Supernova of the game, guys. Gucci, Supernova level 2. Is this the start of a comeback? I doubt it. I very much doubt it. We'll see. Manta style for Jug, so he doesn't even have to Blade Fury to get off the Fire Spirits, the track. He's got another form of self-dispel. And the Soul Caress coming up now. He's got the money for it, so just needs to get the Courier, bring it out, and then looking at Lone Druid with an AC for this next high ground push as well. So, as said, Roshan likely going to be on the cards for IG. They didn't end up taking it there just because the fight kind of broke out and they went chasing for kills. It just didn't quite go as well as they would have hoped for. It didn't go badly for them. That's the thing. Like, we look at that fight, and again, it was what, just the Earth. I think Earth Spirit was the only death on this side of IG, and it was a 2-for-1. They killed Bounty and Phoenix. So that was not a good fight for Vici Gaming in any sense of the word. It was just not as bad as all the previous ones had been. IG going to catch out JDH. They go in the backline, so it's RTK getting caught out. He didn't even have the Supernova this time, which was also probably good reason for Vici Gaming to not even try and take that fight. Burning now could be in some trouble. The Magnetize still on him, and Vici Gaming just going to tap out. I think they realize, like, we just lost this fight, we lose PL, they're going to take Roche, they're going to take our high ground, and we're done for. So, game 1, very convincingly going IG's way. I think a large part of it coming down to the overall strategy. I mean, I talked about, like, yeah, IG, they've got a clear way to win this game. Their win condition, it's going to be around that Lone Druid Radiance. They take towers, they take objectives really well. For Vici Gaming, they don't really have that great pushing hero. They've got two great late game carries in OD and PL, and they put their game much more around, hey, we've got the better team fight, we've got the better late game. We can try and guarantee going to the late game through taking these big team fights, but IG just maneuvered well. They used the vision advantage from the Beastmaster. QD on the Jug was just on point, so I think IG was just a bit more well-rounded in their draft. Their individual plays were solid, and we're going to see them take game one, so pretty straightforward stuff from IG. Definitely, I mean, this is kind of to me, one of the big things for IG is, like, I don't really look at this like, oh, it's a new roster. We're going to see how they do with a new roster, because this is the former IG Vitality team. 4 of the 5 players bringing in 430. So this is less like 430 with 4 new teammates. It's more like IG Vitality upgrading their mid play to Ferrari 430. So it's like what was already a strong, stable team remains a strong, stable team with a stronger mid player. So definitely one of the teams who should see some success. Whether it's going to be long-term success, like these guys have been playing a while together, and like IG Vitality had a couple good showings here or there, but have never been like a breakout team. We don't really know. But definitely, I think over the next month or so, while the scene stabilizes, IG is going to be a team who should pull out some results. Like, this is their time to shine. And then once other teams stabilize, then it's going to be like, okay, is IG still able to compete or not? So for now, IG, definitely very competitive, and Vici Gaming themselves struggling, and have been struggling elsewhere as well. So even in other qualifiers, other Chinese tournaments, have not had the best results. But we'll take a break, guys. We'll hop into Game 2 lobby and see if IG is going to 2-0, if Vici can bounce back. But don't go away. You're watching H Cup, and I'm GoDz, and I'll be right back.